I'm also a research student, so I'm working as a second-year student doing research on peatlands and wetlands. And I'm not going to get into all the science about it, but all I want to say is that I want to show that what people think climate change is simply just your cars and just any other greenhouse gas emissions. But what we've noticed, peatlands and wetlands are one of our biggest weapons against the climate crisis. Only covering 3% of the total Earth's surface, actually hold half of the carbon that is currently in our atmosphere right now, and they are known as our carbon sinks. The reason I'm bringing this up is currently right now in our research, we're finding that mining waste and also increasing temperatures and increasing CO2 emissions, all collectively together are making a synergistic, that's a big word, synergistic? We're gonna keep going, that word, effect on our peatlands and turning them from carbon sinks into carbon emitters. Again, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because people think that the climate crisis is simply just greenhouse gas emissions, your cars, maybe animal agriculture. But what we're realizing is that the draining of these peatlands for mining companies, which are trampling over indigenous communities as we speak, are being one of the biggest threats to our ability to stop the climate crisis. What we're realizing now is that in the boreal peatlands up north are one of our biggest weapons against this. And again, what holds them is the water tables. The water tables, again, are storing this vegetation and keeping it from emitting so much carbon.
Give us a little bit more. We'll let us sing it, idiot.
So anyways, that's enough about the science of peatlands. I just wanted to give a bit of a background. But what I wanted to come up here and say today is that, again, we are in a snap election. This is probably, as I've said in the previous elections, one of the most important elections that we'll ever be in. They will continue to be more important. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I hope everyone that's able to vote is going to be voting. But the reason I'm also bringing this up is because I want everyone to be looking specifically at the platforms of climate change. Not just looking at the blanket words, because they are really easy to use and really easy to make you feel, wow, they're going to do something. Wow, they are going to, basically they're going to say they're going to work with indigenous communities. That's one thing. What does that mean? And they often never know what that means because they never do it. Second, they always want to say that they're going to be stopping greenhouse gas emissions or coming to net zero by 2050. I hate to bring the bad news, but again, this means by 2050, again, as we know by the IPCC reports, too late. Again, it is not radical enough because as you can see when you look at the platforms, almost, at least from what I've seen from Conservative, NDP, and Liberal, don't know about the Green Party, I'm sorry. What I have seen is that they will have in small prints that they are still going to be allowing coal mining plants to be opened and other institutions to be opening. But all they're saying is that they're going to be lifting up and making the environmental assessment even more difficult. But what we know is that we can't have any more. We know that no matter what, they're going to be draining our wetlands. They're going to be trampling over indigenous communities, and we already have an indigenous water crisis that has been lasting for decades. And what has Justin Trudeau done about it?
Nothing.
Come on, a little louder.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yep. And again, sorry, I don't have much prepared, so this is a little all over the place. But I want you to know that each and every one of you, and as cheesy as it sounds, the reason it's cheesy is because it's said so much because it's true. Go onto the party's website, look at their specific platform. Again, vote, call them, email them. If you have any questions, I'm from Climate Justice Guelph, and there's many other groups here that will be happy to help you. When you do that, specifically ask what their climate platform is, specifically ask what the issues you care about. I'm sure you can get a lot of them scared if you ask what they're going to do about the indigenous water crisis. Because again, they know that they can use it and basically profit off the backs of indigenous people to get voted in. And that's exactly what Justin Trudeau did. So again, I just wanted to open up the platform to what climate change is, and it's such a comprehensive issue that includes so many different things that lead to the climate changing. So again, if I can ask you anything to come from this, don't just make this a place to come and scream. Scream outside of here. Scream at the politicians. Talk to your family members. Show up and make sure that your climate activism is not white supremacy. And I'll say that again. Make sure your climate activism is not white supremacy. I want to thank everyone. Get out there and vote, talk to your politicians, and again, decolonize, and that's our way forward.